These days, it's quiet at the corner of 3rd and Hale, but if you listen close, you can hear the history.
The field where Ty Cobb played is literally still there.
I think it's very unusual for a place to be maintained. The actual field is there. The streets are the same.
For the first quarter of the 20th century, what is now the Exchange Club Fairgrounds played host to spring training for several major league teams.
Brooklyn, Detroit, Boston
Braves, Detroit Tigers, New York Giants.
Those teams brought the greats of the game to Warren Park and presidents like Warren Harding to watch them.
So many Hall of Famers were here.
Trish Speaker came through there, Cy Young.
Walter Johnson was here, Rogers Hornsby. Ty Cobb played his first game here.
And took such a liking to the place that he stayed, marrying an Augusta woman and living the rest of his life here.
He was very respected in this town. He was just well thought of. This is where the railroad stopped, and Florida had not been developed at that time, so Augusta was a great place for spring training.
Branch Rickey is most famous for signing Jackie Robinson with the Brooklyn Dodgers. But years earlier,
he says that Augusta's Warren Park is the finest minor league park in America. And I think that's pretty neat.
When spring training moved south, a new park, Jennings Stadium, was built where Walton Way meets the canal.
We'd be looking at the left field wall, third base side.
Jennings was the home of Augusta minor league teams for 35 years. Today, the Peabody Apartments stand on the site. Your grandstand view in 1952 now looks like this.
Jennings Stadium was a great baseball park. If you sat in these old wooden bleachers, and it was close enough to the field that you could actually see the players very well. I can remember the Peanuts, that part of it. You always think about that.
Maybe the most famous player to play at Jennings, a young Henry Aaron, 20 years before.
There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
In 1963, that team left, and 70 years of baseball history with it.
The stadium was sold. Peabody Apartments was built, and then Sears later came there, and so baseball left Augusta. And it really didn't return until 1988.
That's when the Pirates moved into Heaton Stadium, now Lake Olmsted, where a new generation of future Hall of Famers continues to write Augusta's baseball history.
And Madison Bumgarner has firmly etched his name as one of the greatest World Series pitchers the game has ever seen.
We do have a good past, and and we have a good recent past. If you think about all of these really great, I mean, so many major league players that have been from here.
Baseball was a place to be, a place to relax, a place to go, and it was a big deal, it was a big thing.
Sure, we're a baseball town.